County News caught up with Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee Saturday, July 14th, at NACo's annual conference in Davidson County. We kicked off the conversation by asking him about takeaways from his recent hearing focused on health care costs.
We spend way too much on health care compared to the rest of the world. Yeah. And it's not that we use more health care than other countries, the prices are higher. Another takeaway is that a big part of the cost is waste, fraud, abuse, and administrative costs. Some estimates are as much as 30%, which is pretty astonishing. So finding a way to reduce the administrative complexity is not, it'll save money, it'll make doctors and hospitals a lot happier because they're overburdened.
We asked him if he could discuss his committee's efforts to ensure funding for county health departments.
What we're doing this year is working on the Preparedness Act, which is a federal law to try to make us ready for epidemics, disasters, to do research on emerging epidemics, the Ebola type situation, so we can step in and deal with that. That's very important because counties simply can't deal with it when it comes up. On a day-to-day basis, I think federal funding for the community mental health centers is one way the federal government provides a lot of support for primary care and for public health needs in counties.
Next up was a discussion on the opioid crisis and some of the underlying causes and how some of those problems might be tackled.
We have a huge opioid spill we're dealing with this summer. It has, the Senate part of it has 42 provisions from 38 senators, everything from finding research for non-addictive pain medicine, that's sort of the holy grail of it all, something you can take that's not addictive, to stopping fentanyl from coming in from China, to blister packs, authorizing the Food and Drug Administration to tell manufacturers you can only dispense opioids in packages of 3 or 7 rather than bottles of 60. But it's not like a moonshot. It's not like the 1960s where the president could say, let's go to the moon. We gave the job to an agency and we did it. It's much more complicated than that.
We also asked the senator about the recent Supreme Court ruling on Wayfair versus South Dakota.
Well, this is a big deal for counties and for cities and for states and for Main Street businesses, which are under a lot of pressure for a whole variety of reasons. I mean, this could mean up to $26 billion a year that counties and states would have, which they could use to keep tax rates down or to pay for local roads or education or public health or other needs. And it's needed to be done for a long time because it's not right, wasn't right, for the federal government to force states not to collect taxes from out-of-state sellers in the same way that states collect it and local governments collect it from in-state sellers. That hurts the Main Street business in small towns across America and big towns across America. And it's unfair to taxpayers who are paying the tax they owe when you have other taxpayers who are not paying the tax they owe. So that's changed now. It's one of the biggest things that's happened to local governments and state governments in a long time.
We asked Senator Alexander about how to continue to ensure progress on the collection of sales taxes on internet purchases.
It will happen because states and counties now have to set up fair ways to allow businesses around the country to pay their tax. There's a thing called the Streamlined sales tax, which makes it simple for a small business in Nevada to sell something in Tennessee. Actually, it's nearly as simple as going to your computer and Googling the weather and then putting in your zip code, and up comes, the Nashville, Tennessee weather. You can do that with a sales tax for a jurisdiction too. So I think it's important for counties and states to streamline their procedures. That would be fair to businesses. It'll also make it easier to collect the taxes that are already owed.